Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 26. And I just want to remind you guys of a couple things. Number one, you are doing so good. Like super, super good. Like this is the best group ever. And I haven't tallied up the total fat mass loss for the second round of scans. I'm really tempted to. I'm probably just going to do it for myself because I'm curious. As to whether I'll share it or not, I probably won't. Okay, and haven't had anybody ask for it, so I probably just will save it. But everybody's doing so good. I want you to keep going and not give up and know that everything that you're doing is not in vain, right? You're doing this for results. You are going to better your health. You're going to better your body composition. You're going to better the way that you feel. You're probably going to better your sleep, etc., etc., etc. All of this is not in vain. So keep going and keep putting in that effort daily. It's all about the little stuff every day. It's all about checking off those check boxes every day. One other thing I want to mention is yesterday I talked a little bit about, specifically we talked about menopause or being around your time of menopause, ladies. And we talked about cortisol production and how this is not good because this lends itself to the body wanting to store a little more body fat, which I don't really know if I really went into too much yesterday. But let's just leave it at that. Lends the body more to going in that route. And also, part of that is the body losing its ability to partition sugar. Okay, that's not the best way for me to put it. The body's ability to store sugar as fat becomes that much greater. Okay, you become less insulin sensitive. That is, your muscle cells become less insulin sensitive, which is one reason why you want to weight train, one of many reasons. But to add to that, this goes for all of you, by the way, the more muscle mass you have, the greater reservoir you have for storing sugar. Okay, your muscles store carbohydrates in the form of glycogen. They also store fatty acids as well, but really more specifically as a whole, they store sugar. The more muscle mass you have, the greater reservoir, specifically skeletal muscle mass, okay, which is primarily your muscle mass, the greater area or real estate you have to store sugar. Also, with weight training, you become, as I mentioned, more insulin sensitive. In fact, at post-training, you don't even need insulin to get sugar into the muscle. You have something called GLUT4 receptors on your muscle cells, and these just open up and allow sugar to come in. And this is really, really important for staving off things like type 2 diabetes. For just that in and of itself is a better method for partitioning sugar. Your body doesn't have to really do any work for that. You also reduce your inflammation because, essentially if you're demanding less insulin to be produced by the body, this is good for lowering inflammation, etc., etc., etc. There's so many great benefits. But the more that you weight train as well, the more you're going to make the muscle cells more and more insulin sensitive, which just means you need less insulin to do its job to get the sugar into the muscle. And this is all a great thing, all right? Now we lose this ability, especially as we go through menopause. Generally, as we all age, ladies lose this a lot when they go through menopause, and this is one reason why, of course, I give you guys, ladies, if you're in that category, you know that I've given you less carbohydrates. All right, so let's go on here with some feedback. This is under additional comments or questions. Loving the program, feeling great, getting great sleep. The videos are very motivating and informative. I sometimes go back and watch them again. Make my husband watch them as well. I can't remember the last time I went this long without alcohol. Kudos to you. Seriously, if you can cut out alcohol, you're doing yourself a huge, huge service. Probably a good thing I'm doing this, absolutely. Thank you for all that you do. You are most welcome. And you know what? It pumps me up to hear this because, it makes me feel like I'm making a difference. And this is more important to me than anything, honestly. Okay, more feedback here. So let's go. I am on apparently entry 17. That may or may not be accurate, actually. This is under name, something specific you can improve upon for the following week. I will go back to skipping the alcohol. after having a drink to celebrate my daughter's 19th birthday by having her first legal drink with her in Victoria. All right, well, listen, I'm just going to encourage you to, hopefully this is your only time that you're going to drink. And, again, I want to stress to you guys not to drink alcohol. And as I mentioned, there's many reasons why I don't want you to drink alcohol. But if you want to read some of the effects it has on sleep, read this book, Why We Sleep. It'll give you lots of information on that. Additional comments, questions. I am feeling much better and enjoying the routine and consistency. Great to hear. I love it. Okay, nothing written really there. All right, this person writes, pretty good this week. Good. All right, don't know exactly what that means, but that's good. I'm happy that probably means it's going pretty good. If you say it's going pretty good, it's probably going pretty good. I definitely have days where I feel like I am way overeating or I am very full. All right. I want you to send me your food journal every single day. Now, this person was sending me their food and I haven't seen it for a while. I know when they were sending me their food, they were doing a great job. Keep sending me your food, especially on these days, because maybe there's something that I can pick up on that you're not doing right, or maybe it's just obvious to me. But sometimes I can see where there could be some sort of error, okay? So specifically on these days, if not every day, although I'm gonna encourage you to do it every day, send me, specifically on these days, at least send me your food journal, okay? But really, you should send it to me every day. How am I doing here? 7 minutes. All right, this is under name something specific you can improve on for the following week. I've not pre-read these, obviously, so I'm just gonna go for it here. I can improve my intake of real whole foods. I can practice being okay with eating simple. Yeah, I mean, this is just mindset. This is nothing more than mindset. Just choosing to do something and just doing it. After exploring some frozen dim sum this week and getting scolded for being too processed, I started to think about some other things I could steam. I did a really nice white fish from frozen that turned out great. I'm going to explore the things and methods for steaming this week. Yeah, nothing wrong with frozen fish, right? Fresh frozen fish is fine. Name something specific you need help with. This week was harder. I found myself getting bored and wanting to try something new. How can I stay interested in what I'm eating? Listen, there's an abundance of real whole foods out there, whether fruits or vegetables, especially if you go to Chinese market. There's all kinds of vegetables there that believe me, I am probably not familiar with. So incorporate more of this if you want to make things a little bit more interesting. That's what I would suggest doing. Why not try some exotic meats? They're probably a little bit more expensive, but I know, like, for example, if you go to Windsor Meats, you can get all kinds of different kinds of meat. I would stay away from boar, though. Boar is super, super duper fattening. The ground boar that they have. But they've got some meats there, I think it's at Windsor Meats. Is it? I'm pretty sure. They got things like giraffe and elk and all that kind of stuff. Okay, sorry. Is there anything? Okay, it's 9 minutes. Let's get the message of the day. Message of the day on this day 26. Don't call it a dream. Call it a plan. Quit calling it a dream and just call it a plan. Just do it. Just check off the check boxes. Just pre-plan, set yourself out on a path and commit to it. Okay, this goes for your workouts, which is probably the easiest part of this challenge. Your cardio, which is probably the next hardest because you're doing that on your own. And as I mentioned, the hardest thing is going to be your food. And I don't think accountability is hard, but maybe some of you just don't want to shy away from it. It is something else you have to do. But as I mentioned, those who are accountable tend to do better almost always in the challenge. Okay, it's very rare that somebody's not accountable and does very well in the challenge. Don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Plan everything out. And, like I said, if you've got things set up as appointments, you're more likely to, just like other appointments in your life, you're more likely to go through with them, right? You're more likely to complete them. Don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.